What up?
What's up? What it do? What it does, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Oh, good, man. How you doing?
I've been good.
Yeah, all right, that's fantastic. And everybody who's watching, welcome again to another fantastic show of 5Roundz. Same time on a Friday evening with more fantastic issues we need to talk about. You know yourself, we have here on the table is one Tally. How we keeping?
Oh, good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm all right. I can't complain. It's a Friday. Freddy, what's up?
I'm doing fine, man. I have a long weekend, so Monday's a holiday as well. So I'm starting my night. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good weekend.
Patrick, we know you've already maybe started your night. How are you doing, Mr. Patrick?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. After hearing your voice, I want to go to bed. But
shots fired. Shots fired.
Shots fired. He's a hater. I know yourself. I know Patrick, you're a hater. Anyway, without further ado, guys, today we have a fantastic topic that we're going to be talking about. It's something that is happening on a day-to-day life ever since now. We are in the second year, isn't it, with the COVID pandemic going on. So many has happened until the vaccination came in and people have gone to get the vaccination. Some people haven't gone to get the vaccination. The reason we're having this topic today is we want to talk about what is the division that's going on. So basically, is there a brewing division between COVID vaxxers and anti-vaxxers? In more explanation, as it says there, we're talking about, we're looking at an angle where is the life that is going to be from now onwards, is the life that is going on, is there a division between people that have been vaccinated and those people that haven't been vaccinated? And I know everybody has got their own points, everybody have their own thoughts. We're not here to say, oh no, this one should get vaccinated or you should get we should get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. No, we're not here to trash vaccines or to say vaccines are good or bad. The main point is just to see the difference of life that we're going to live in and how people are understanding it and how yourself as well, viewers, how you are understanding it. Now, before we start on the first question, remember always subscribe, share as we are having this show right now. Throw it out on your page, on your Facebook page, your Twitter, or whatever, so people can join in and you can interact and give us your point and what you think about it.
Yeah, true.
Now, the first question, as we can say about this is, why has the COVID-19 vaccination caused a division? As it stands, we're seeing a division of people who are vaccinated and the people who are not vaccinated. I would love to hear from you, first of all, Fred. Why do you think the COVID vaccination has caused the division?
Well, for me, I'm going to speak partly on personal experience and what I've been seeing on TVs and most people talking about it, like in various social media platforms. And I think for why people feel so insecure about the vaccine, I would say it's because it is done very fast. As in, because if you look at the history of how vaccines are being made over different types of infections or viruses happening. Let's say virus is happening, it takes a longer period of time. And this is the fastest vaccine that I think it is the fastest vaccine ever created in history. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's for something as very, very serious as COVID-19. That's why a lot of people feel so insecure about it. Like, why did this so-called COVID-19 get faster response, faster cure than all these things? And we have all these like measles, whatever, we have cancer and stuff, and we still haven't found cure for that. And this one just comes like that, is there. So a lot of people have a little bit trust issues with this vaccine. It was like, I know it's so fast. The issue as in the probability of somebody being I would say cured or something that cannot affect them, it's the probability is very low. So give it more time. It needs more time, at least, to perfect it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people feel like they're going to be like, it came out as trials. So nobody's going to take a vaccine. That's the whole. They're just trying it out if it works. Nobody's going to put something in their blood, just say, oh, they're just trials. What if something happens to them? So I think there's a lot of trust issue there as well. Yeah, I think that's part of my reason there.
So if we, like what you say there, you're saying it's because of trust issues and the problem that the vaccination has come too quick, and people are like, okay, how come this has come so quick? We have this, we have that, we have this. All right. Would you not think for a second, right? This is a virus flu that is killing people at a rapid speed. Okay. Is that not a reason enough for them to try and react so quick? I'll give you an example. Remember when you had Ebola, it was killing people so quick. They ran down and tried to make a vaccine for it. You know that kind of way? Do you think that would be a reason to say that, oh no, why is this vaccine so quick? Yeah, of course, the vaccine is going to be out so quick because they're trying to stop the fact that people are dying so quick in a huge number and it's easily spreading. Would you not think that's justifiable to say, yeah, run for it? Don't you think that's justifiable to say it came out so quick? They have to run to solve that problem.
Well, if you put it that way, they're saying like, it's only deadly for people with weaker immune system or some people with pre-existing conditions as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're a young, healthy man, you might get it. You will go through hard conditions, but you might survive from it. You know what I mean? So for younger people, there's I think 80% chance they'll survive it, and it's mostly the older generation are very much at risk at this thing. So.
Actually, that was the initial report. That was the initial report until the virus mutated, and then it was just people who were dying. Didn't matter if you had underlying health issues or whatever it is. It was happening to everyone. So at the beginning, it's what we understood to be that people who had underlying health issues were the ones that were more susceptible to the virus and maybe were getting worse effects, and their mortality level was lower maybe, but now it was anyone. It's anyone.
It's basically not choosing if you have a good immunity. It doesn't care at this point. Because we have new variants coming. I think we're on Delta. Is it Delta 4 or something? I don't know if it's Delta 4 or just Delta. So we have new variants coming in left and right. Who knows what's going to happen after this one? Are they going to come up with a stronger vaccine than what they have now?
There's a booster. I don't know if you've heard. There's a booster you can take.
Yeah, because for Pfizer and Moderna, I think you have to take 2 dosages, which apparently the first one is just to get your system ready for the next booster, which is the stronger one. So they can't give you the strong one before the first one. The first one is just to get you used to, okay, there's something hardcore coming before they give you that one. I'm pretty sure most of you have taken the second one and you have actually felt the first-hand experience of it. I wouldn't say much because apparently I got one, my first one 2 days ago. Due to personal reasons. I'm not really, I didn't want to get a vaccine, but after seeing the people around me and the family, I was like, okay, if that's the case, let me not be selfish and then just look from other people as well. So that's one of the reasons why I went to get it.
Okay, 2 seconds. Just going to get into the comments. The question, just to get us back to where we are, the question was, why has COVID-19 caused division, right? I'm just going to read the comments and then we'll get back to that question. Gloria Miller, thank you for joining. She says, a recent John Hopkins study states that 250,000 people in the U.S. die every year from medical errors. Other reports claim that the number is 440,000.
Wow.
What is classed as medical errors? It's very easy. Even with COVID, the numbers were getting a bit mushed up, Gloria, because anything that any person who died straight away, the first thing was, oh no, it's COVID. When in doubt, COVID. Some of them, were even testing positive to COVID because the machines testing COVID had COVID on them. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to really stem down to the figures, because the figures have been mashed up so much that you don't know. So she goes on to say Freddie doesn't know anything about the vaccines. I mean,
It's an opinion.
It's your opinion.
It's her opinion.
Of course. Yeah.
No, we are not COVID experts, right? I think we should put that out there. We're not COVID experts, but we have experienced it around us. We have seen what it does. We have seen the vaccine stuff. So we're putting out what we think. Yeah,
basically from what personal experience, like what I said in the beginning. So I'm not saying like I'm a doctor or something.
Okay, so Anne-Marie says, look, everyone has a choice. That's what it came down to. Not about information, it's a decision. Everyone should be allowed to make them for themselves. End of the day, it's a trial. No one knows the effects. You know what, Anne-Marie, that is true. It's a choice, and you put it that way. It's a choice, and also it's up to you to go and get that information to know for yourself and decide for yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know. As most people have commented there anyway, like they're getting down to how most people think about it. I don't know if Patrick would have another view to think of. Why do you think this COVID-19 vaccination has caused division? Would you have something to add on to that, or one Charlie?
Yeah, I have something. I'm not gonna take time anyway, to be honest, because even though Gloria says Fred doesn't know what he's saying, he did cover some of the stuff that's happening that's causing a lot of fear. It goes back to fear first of all, and it also goes. What I can also say is some of these people who are against it. I'm gonna start with the against side. Some of these people, if you speak to them, I have spoken to a few. The decision about vaccines, they've had it for years. Most of these guys already fight against vaccines. Some of these people tell you they don't take medicine, they don't like go into it. Like when you talk to them, I've spoken to about 5. Majority of them already believe that every vaccine mustn't go in your body. Vaccines are not meant for you. They believe that everything that's made by the government is something that you mustn't put in your body because there's something behind it. There's population control that later on, after 5 years, somebody told me this, after 5 years, we're going to see issues in ourselves, everybody who's taken the vaccine. So that's the fear factor that's spreading these people. Now you must know that these people have got networks, and these networks, they've got social media networks everywhere, and they've got big groups. So these are the groups that are spreading this word, and that's how it's going to the fact of the division. So I'm going to focus on fear. I think there's a bit of fear, and that fear is spread even by the media. From the beginning, when all this started, as Wantali was touching upon it, we had a lot of media coverage that did not make sense. This amount of people have died, and they're just saying it's COVID. I can also mention an example, our country, Malawi, where they were trying to use COVID to get social aid. They were using that as a way to get social aid. It put a lot of fear in a lot of people, and none of us could know anything. Another thing about the reason why some people don't even want to get this vaccine, again, is because some of the things the governments are doing, no offense, don't make sense to me personally. Also, even though I have the vaccine, don't make sense to a lot of people. Like I was talking with one Tali earlier on off camera. I was like, how can they tell you that, okay, if you work in that bar, you can work without being vaccinated? It's fine. You can serve drinks and food to people. But when you leave your bar and come back to that bar, you can't get into the bar because you're not vaccinated. Do you get what I mean? So people are saying, okay, this doesn't make sense at all. Then the fact that they're telling you that, even though you get vaccinated, you can still get it. You can still get it, which goes back to things like chickenpox. I know you can still get chickenpox back in the days when you got vaccinated. You could still get it, but it wouldn't be as serious as somebody who didn't get vaccinated. So for me, I think there's a fear factor in most of the anti-vaxxers, and that fear is also spread even by the government, and it's also spread by people, obviously, who are anti-vaccination either way.
Well, that's basically it. Wait, the question is, why is there division? The question is not why are there people who are against the vaccination. It's why is there division?
That's the reason why I was starting with the opposite side. That's the division. There's people with different mindsets. That's why there's a division at the end of the day. But this all comes from fear. That's why there's a division of all this. It's all fear. To be honest with you, I went to take the vaccine again because of fear.
Right.
That's how it is. I was scared looking at the numbers. Every day they have numbers on TV. Every day everybody's talking about it. So I was like, oh shit, let me go get let me go get the vaccine. So all this is based on fear, whether you're taking it or not taking it. That's what I'm trying to put out here.
The answer is simple, right?
Yes.
Why there is division is because there's choice. People have a choice whether they want to get vaccinated or not. And that will create division in itself, because some people will want to get vaccinated to travel, but some people don't want to get vaccinated because they believe it will harm them. So it already will cause division through that way. You've been given a choice whether you are going to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. You know what I mean? So
and it's go on there.
The minute you've been told that you can either turn left or turn right, you choose whichever way you want to go. If they said everybody must take the vaccine, it's by law, then we wouldn't have as much decision as as much division as we have now.
Yeah,
but in such situations, there is no choice as well
for you. But people are still not doing it.
The question is why there is division. That's the question.
No, but we're asking now.
Just to add on. Just to add on the division thing, and it's also like, and it's also a thing like the government is bringing up laws where people technically don't have a choice. For example, you can sit in a restaurant only if you're vaccinated. That's no choice for the people that are unvaxxed. You know what I mean? So it's that sense of thing, that people that are not vaxxed feel like they're being like condemned, like, oh, if you don't get this, you won't have access to these areas. You know what I mean? So they're creating a little bit discrimination.
Where did that start from? It started from the fact that you were told you could either have a vaccine or not have a vaccine. Then obviously the division will stem further if you start actually drawing the line. Because if somebody tells you, so the first thing they've done is divided people, right? You guys want to get the vaccine, you guys don't want to get the vaccine. Then the second thing they've said is, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to isolate for this long if you travel. Stuff like that. So that starts making the line a little bit brighter. You start seeing the division. But the first thing that caused the division is the fact that you have a choice. That's the main reason.
That's how. I think I'll tweak there for 130. The choice part, I think, is that fact of saying that you have a choice.
Did you just say you're going to twerk?
hey man, before we continue, sorry. So this comment here from Gloria says, depopulation should be the highest priority of the U.S. foreign policy towards the third world. That coming from the most divided country in the world, the United States. Do you know what I mean? You can't believe everything. So Gloria, you can't believe everything that's said by a leader or politician or whatever, or whatever it is. If they say this is a way of depopulating, or if they said that we need to depopulate people, you straight away align it to a global pandemic. This is not just an American pandemic; it's a global pandemic. You know what I mean? So this was not started by Americans. So you can't align that to somebody's.
And America is not the only place that's population very high. We have India there. You know what I mean? India is a very big population there.
It started from bloody China, for crying out loud. And also to get to the other point, every country has suffered economically. What's the most important thing to politicians, businessmen? It's their businesses, their money. The only people that have thrived in the pandemic are those rich companies like Amazon, Virgin, and all these other
online companies.
And China, the way it started, now falling.
I don't want to cause any conspiracies, but the numbers say that the people that are benefiting from this, they need you, the buyers. They need people to buy from. They need people to buy from
the sanitizer company,
from the businesses, the sanitizer company. So why would you decrease the population?
The masks.
When those people should be paying money. Every government wants you to pay tax. It doesn't make sense.
Stickers and all this and all that, banners and all that.
Okay, so Anne-Marie says, why is there a feeling out of there if you are not vaccinated? There are vaccinated people. Okay, I don't understand what you're saying. People look.
So I think what you're trying to say is, why is there a feeling that when you're going out there and there's a vaccinated person and others are not vaccinated, the vaccinated people look at the unvaccinated person like
they have a disease or something.
Yeah, like you have a disease.
But I can answer that, and it's not always the vaccinated people. There are unvaccinated people also seem to have a very strong opinion and try to criticize people who are vaccinated. And I've heard a few of them call people who are vaccinated that they are blind. that we are blind to what's going to happen to us in few. So they also have a pushback. So both sides have got a push to each other's side. We can say that.
But it's all based on personal opinion. You know what I mean? It's all personal opinion. It doesn't mean it's true, but you are allowed to have your own opinion, I would say.
Absolutely. So Kita K says, look, who has been vaccinated out of the four of you? I think I've been fully vaccinated. I think Patrick has.
All of us have been vaccinated.
Oh my goodness me.
There's caps here. Caps.
Don't come with caps.
Are you sure, Ovi? Because I remember in the last topic you said you're not getting vaccinated, bro. So
guy,
it's in 4K, by the way. It's in 4K.
She just said vaccinated. She just said vaccinated. She could talk about measles. I was measles vaccinated.
Okay. How many of us? How many of us have been fully vaccinated from COVID? How many of us?
No, that's a personal thing now. So
how is it a personal thing?
It's not a personal thing.
Were you there? Was I there with you when you getting vaccinated?
Yeah,
man. You're going to be showing that passport to everybody now, even in the clubs, to everybody. And
no, apparently, starting from next month on, I think the 20th, there'll be no longer showing passports and stuff.
Yeah, but you know that they were scanning it and your whole information comes in to the other scanner.
In clubs.
Listen, we're going to go to that. We're going to go to that. Let's do the jump. No. Take it easy. Relax.
Next question, Ovi.
So look, we've had it anyway. As I can say anyway, anyone who's watching this, feel free to comment about the first question that we're asking. As we say, why has COVID-19 vaccination caused a division? Feel free to drop it into comments. And give us your point. Tell us what you think. Second of all, we're going to ask you this little question as well. Is there a difference in the treatment of the vaxxers compared to the anti-vaxxers? So is there a special treatment? Is there a different treatment that this person is vaccinated is getting a different treatment compared to a person that is not vaccinated? One tally. What do you think?
Is there a difference in treatment? Right now?
Yes.
Okay, so locally, no, because but then it's difficult because I'm looking at it from a person that's been vaccinated. But then there hasn't been a point where I've gone somewhere and somebody has asked me if I'm vaccinated or not. I think the only people that have asked me if I'm vaccinated or not are the people that I'm going to meet or talk to or whatever it is, right? So is there a difference in treatment? In my experience, not yet. But from what we're seeing in the news, it looks like it's going to be. There is going to be a difference in treatment. I've been able to go to shops, clubs, whatever, anywhere to interact. No one has asked if you're fully vaccinated or not.
So, even clubs.
Even clubs.
So
in my opinion, they need the money. They need all your money. So
are you finishing on clubs and
which club do you go to?
No names.
Yeah, but listen, let me answer before anyone as well throw it. Yeah, I was just saying, is there any difference in the treatment? I think there is. I have seen it in so many different ways. Like, you want to, you might say you've gone into places they haven't asked for anything like that. I know and I understand.
Yeah, but I haven't traveled. For
you haven't traveled.
It's a different story. It must be a different story.
Yeah, but not only travel. Like me, let's say even locally. I'll give you an example locally. Treatment. I remember one day we went to Abracadabra. It's a restaurant, and it's not a treatment, but I'm just saying when you go in restaurants, you want to get food. They're saying, no, if you want to eat in here, you have to show us your proof of vaccination. If you want to get your takeaway, go ahead, you can go. So first of all, straight away there, that's the treatment. Say, no, if you're not vaccinated, you can eat here. But if you ain't vaccinated, you can't eat here.
Really?
100%. Yeah,
that's how it is.
That's how it is in Ireland.
They actually have a sticker there. They put a sticker there to sit in, show a proof of passport that you've been vaccinated.
Or you scan a bar.
You have to show them. If you don't, you can buy food, but you go outside. If they have an outdoor, then no problem. If you're not vaccinated, you can go and sit on the outdoor. Same thing with pubs. That's what they're doing. If pubs don't have an outdoor, you can't go in if you're not vaccinated. If you're vaccinated,
you sit in the rain.
Yeah, you can sit in there. You can buy and stand outside. That's up to you. But if they have, let's say, an outdoor in the back, you can buy and go sit in the back. As long as when you're going to the back, you put on your mask. If you're passing in, put on your mask. You're going to buy a drink, put on your mask. When you go to the back, sit down, drink your booze. You know what I mean? And that's the treatment I can see. As you were saying on media, it seems it's going to be like that. Most countries, I was seeing the other day, guys, I seen in France, they've actually laid off a few care workers because they were not vaccinated. Now, they're care workers. They chose not to be vaccinated. As we say, it's a choice. Some people be vaccinated and not to be vaccinated. But there were care workers who are working in the hospital and working with care, of course, care system. And because they are not vaccinated, they told them that we're going to lay you off work. If you're not going to get vaccinated, you can't work anymore. So straight away, that's the treatment. You know that kind of way to say that, oh, so you're not going to get, you can't make money because you're not vaccinated. That's your job. That's your profession. You know what I mean? Which I would think at a point, the way you could read, I know some news would be people just writing it up, but the way it could be, don't you think it'd reach a point to say, okay, anyway, if you're working and there's a lot of people working, you should be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you have no job, So to me, I'd say, yes, there is a big difference of treatment. And I know for you, Antali, as you said, where you are, it hasn't started. But here, you can agree with me, Fred, Patrick can agree with me. There is that difference of a treatment. Now, it's actually going that these are the good and these are the bad. I don't know if Patrick or Fred, you'd have something to add on to that. What do you think? Do you think is there a different treatment between vaxxers and compared with anti-vaxxers?
The treatment is there for anybody who's actually living in Ireland. It's wide as daylight, man. You can't go to a shop. You see people eating in the shop, but only vaccinated. You can't go there and sit down and eat. But the funny thing is, I don't know if maybe the waiters are vaccinated or not. Because if you can be a waiter and not be vaccinated,
that's what I
still serve, and the same thing what Patrick said.
I find that very funny because if you're working in the bar, they say, yeah, it's okay, don't be vaccinated. But if you're off work, you can come back and drink it.
Oh, so wait. Can I say something, Fred, to you also? Do you think that then the vaccines are sort of being treated like VIP citizens? Like they're sort of being given a treatment that
first class citizen, huh?
First class.
First class.
So basically, there's a sort of a ranking that if you're not vaccinated, you're not first choice to anything.
If it feels so.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let me just read the comments real quick because there's a lot of comments coming at the minute. So Edna says the government is trying to control all of us. That's the only way. Okay. She also says all restaurants are now eating. You can't wait. All restaurants now eating. You can't sit and enjoy your meal. It's takeaway. The clubs are finding it hard to control everyone. Everyone is going in fully vaccinated.
I can't see the comment. Can everybody see it? I can't see it.
No.
Oh, okay. So let me put it up there. There it is. Sorry.
On YouTube. Go on YouTube.
Yeah. So Edna says, look, again, she says, Eddie Rocket's restaurant. We eat outside, outdoor. It was raining. We had no choice. Thank God it was just a drizzle. Wow. So they made you eat outside?
Yeah, man. This is how it is.
It is what it is. I say it is what it is.
In Ireland, they'll tell you go outside in the rain. It is what it is. Nobody can know.
Nobody can know. So Anne Marie says, look, in Ireland, you have to be vaccinated to dine indoors. To go to a pub indoors, you have to be vaccinated. Show your cert. Hitler comes to mind.
There's a point there.
Oh wow.
As in, dude, it's pretty sad. These things are happening, and they're happening slowly. And before you know it, everybody will be doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, it
starts little. It starts little by little, they basically just showing us, okay, this is the new norm.
Yeah, this
baby spoon feeding you, and then before you realize that we're all doing it. So it's baby steps. So yeah, we can go on to the next question and not waste more time.
So right, anyway, people, as you've heard it, everybody has their views. We all have our points, but I think at the main point, it depends right now on where you are. Like as we've said, one time in England right now, it hasn't reached that point. They haven't done that. Here in Ireland, they're doing that. Somebody else could be watching this. They're somewhere else in Jamaica or whatever. It's probably like that. So I think it depends in where you are. where this treatment is different. But as we can say, as much as we are where we are, it is what it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. It's madness.
She says it's harsh. We feel like we don't belong. We will end up getting the vaccination simply because you're being scared into taking it. I don't know. That's a bit.
That's what, to me, that's how I put it. That's what they're trying to do. To me, I take it that they're doing that to say, well, you have to scare you into getting it. You know what I mean? And
that's the fear thing Patrick was talking about. You know?
Yeah, it's fear. That's why Patrick.
I knew that was going to become a masterclass. It's all fear. All this is fear. Yeah.
After you read my status update.
Oh yeah, you wrote something similar, didn't you?
About it, yeah.
Fear is a sickness itself, you know. Because you know, once you put fear into people, and we know once there's fear, you know, it makes your immune system is not as strong because you're scared. You know, immune system cannot handle any diseases and stuff. So imagine that plus the COVID, what will happen? You know. Kill you, man.
Finished. You're finished. Okay. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to say this again. Everybody who's watching, please share this to your friends, your partner, your family, your page. Make sure people see this and let them put on their thoughts and their comment on what they think about it. And of course, subscribe, share, like. That's how we come. We still come out here to have all this crowd, talk about these things with you guys. Go on, Sally. It's for you guys. And of course, always remember, as we released our merch, flying out there, 5Roundz on 5Roundz at 5Roundz. You can get everything, hoodies. We've got masks, duffel bags, crop tops, male, female, kids, all out there. Good stuff. So the third question, it's pretty much, as we've seen it in the news, there have been reports of showing proof of vaccination as a right to admission to venues, which could be passed as a law. Is this a correct way to dealing with this issue? So the way we were saying about that, here it is, you have to have this as admission to a venue, to a restaurant, to a cinema, to a whatsoever, you have to have a certificate. And they're trying to force that to become a law. Do you think it's a correct way of dealing with this issue, Patrick?
Patrick,
can't run away, bro.
Look, man. For me, some people might not like what I'm about to say, but it is what it is, and
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what I believe. Look, we have a pandemic, right? And things are not going well. We've lost loved ones, you know, we've lost friends, people have lost family. If they're asking you to do these things, at the end of the day, if that's the way we have to protect each other, nobody here has a better idea. I'm not hearing any better idea from anybody who's going against all this stuff. So for you to come to these places, which you have to gather, you know, like these clubs, bars, where there's close contact, you know, especially like bars when people get drunk. I saw it before. Obviously, before it was way stricter, but now people are still interacting again when they're in the bar. So basically, you have to be vaccinated to protect each other. Because look, everybody has got a loved one at home, but people still want to have fun. You know, we've been locked up for so long. We want to do something else. You know, the mental health, we talked about it, has been causing people issues. So people just want to be out there. So look, for me, I call it a small sacrifice. Some people might say it's a huge one, but it's up to me. It's personally for me. I believe that, look, it's the right way. If you have gathering into these areas, you have to make sure it's safe for everybody. Because look, yourself, you might believe that, look, I can just walk in here. I believe that if I am not vaccinated, it's okay with me. But it is where the world is going. This pandemic has killed and taken a lot of people. So this COVID-19 has taken a lot of lives. So for it to be controlled, this is the only way. What other way is there? If there's no other, if you have got another way to do this, please, more than welcome to come forward and tell us that, look, there's a way that's better than the vaccination. There's a way that's better than isolating. There's a way that's better than social distancing. Please tell us.
Yeah, but do you think it becoming a law, to say it's a law, is the way, it's the correct way?
Yeah, because look, as I said again, some people are not going to like me because there's people out there who don't want to do it. and yet they want to risk others. So
yeah, but
look,
it's their choice. It's not everyone that doesn't want to take that doesn't want to take the vaccine that is causing risk to people. There are people that haven't taken the vaccine are still practicing social distancing,
putting on their mask on,
staying isolated, and all those things. The question is, for people like them, is it the right thing to do? Is this the right way?
This is my thought. As I said again, this is just me. You might hate me. You might be doing a keyboard warrior thing right now. For me, this is coming from my view, from my eyes. What I see, I say, look, sometimes in life you have to play ball, and this is the only way. And there's nothing else I can do. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, if they bring it as a law, I'm pretty sure it is what it is. That's how we're gonna have to go forward as human beings. The thing about it is, I'm gonna bring this back. Let me bring it back to countries that I'm just gonna say China. You know, in China, everything is set. You're made to do certain things. It's because obviously it's a communist country. I don't support communism, by the way. I don't. But it looked like as soon as things were controlled in a certain way, things worked out, and then you find out. I don't know if some people have that conspiracies, that is propaganda, but they have the lowest COVID now. But the thing is, I know in this world we are free to do anything, as Wantali said. There's choices, in other words, which are, by all means, I support choices for everybody. But I think at the end of the day, people don't want to take it, and then people say, oh, I want to do this. If they bring that law and that's the only way for us to keep the numbers down, I'm supporting that. I'm sorry, that's just me. That's just my choice. That's why everybody votes for a different president. I would be supporting that law that, look, for you to get into this place, you have to be vaccinated. For you to go there, you have to be vaccinated. That's all I can say. That yes, I would be supporting that law.
Patrick, let me oppose that.
I want to oppose that as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Fred. Sorry, Patrick. You understand that this virus, virus does not. Even though you have a vaccine, it doesn't mean that you cannot be the carrier of this virus.
I know, you can still get it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a lower risk.
So being vaccinated, what does vaccination actually do? Yeah, vaccination, it increases the chance of you surviving the virus. It does not decrease the chance of infection. You know, it doesn't stop infection.
It doesn't mean you don't affect others. You can still affect others.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that people are not going to get infected. People are going to get infected. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense that you are stopping people who are not vaccinated, who are capable of infecting people the same way you are, from being in the same space you are. Because at the end of the day, they've made the choice to not get vaccinated, yes? Which means they're okay with catching the virus if they ever do catch the virus and dealing with it the way they want to deal with it, right? You as somebody
it's a personal risk.
Exactly. It's a personal risk. You as somebody who has chosen to stay vaccinated, you're choosing not to go through that. But does that mean that you shouldn't sit at the same table with somebody who hasn't chosen to vaccinate? I don't think so.
Well, at the end of the day, as I say, it's as you've just said it there. For me, if that law came in, you wouldn't see me objecting or fighting it. I would simply accept it because I don't have any other idea. I'm sorry, you might call me dumb, but I don't have any other idea than what they're giving me. So if I was maybe one of them people that I think outside the box and I came in and said, you know what, I have a way we can do this, I would be objecting. But right now, for me, after all the people, some of the people I've seen, some people even I knew, and I was surprised, like, oh my God, he died from COVID. For me, yes, I want to be able to protect others, and I feel like maybe for us to all be vaccinated. By the way, they said if you're vaccinated, there's a risk of you actually dying from the virus. So I believe that maybe that's a good thing than you being at a higher risk when you get it. So for me, that's why I believe. By the way, everybody in the comments and everybody watching, before you start chewing me, everybody has a choice. As you say, most of your people, even the anti-vaxxers say, oh, everybody has a choice. Well, my side is, if that law comes in, I'll probably be on the yes side of that law. And maybe next time you see me in the streets, you're going to throw eggs at me. Fair play, I'll throw eggs at you too. I'll make sure I have some in my bag. So it is what it is.
Ovida, before I go on, or me or Wantali go on, I want Wantali to read. I think there's a lot of messages there in the comments section.
Yeah, just going to read the comments real quick. Every time I speak, it seems like somebody wants to drive their car past my house or something. You know what I mean? Bear with me, man. It's annoying. Edna says, look, Edna Nyorongo says, look, the minors are stuck in their own mind. They don't seem to have a say. Parents will end up convincing them to vaccinate. Come on. This is our future generation. If anything goes wrong, with this. I guess she's like, what happens if anything goes wrong with this? It's not the right way to do it or deal with it. Yeah, absolutely. That's what Edna says. Anne Marie says, look, vaccinated people are still getting sick, dying still. Yes, I agreed, but it's lower numbers now. Anne Marie.
Lower numbers, yeah.
Spreading. I'd rather stay away from the crowds. Keep safe, as I've all along. I'd worn a mask.
Just to add on what Anne Marie said, as in actually true, as in most people who actually been vaccinated are the ones who are actually doing more group activities than
because they feel
the ones that are not vaccinated. You know what I mean?
They feel like
oh, I'm immune.
Yeah.
Most of the public, many people like in crowded areas because I'm vaccinated. So I think there's more people catching the vaccine with vaccinated than the ones that because when you're not vaccinated, be like, hey, no, I need to stay safe. You know what I mean? Because you still have that still in the mind, like I'm not vaccinated. Let me sanitize, do all these things.
That's true. I just want to add what Freddy said. That's true. People that have been vaccinated are the ones that I think they are immune. For example, I'll give you an example. Like I've seen the way they're saying, I've seen people giving out in the shop because they had a mask on and they walk in the shop and they tell them, why you don't have your mask. When I'm vaccinated, why do I need a mask for?
You can't. No, that's just people who are a bit of issues. I can counter what you guys have just said.
No.
Can I ask you, Vita, just how many times have you been out since all these vaccinations have come out?
No, I would go out a couple of times,
Okay, fair play. Okay, so
okay,
let me say this. For me, this is just from my side. Look, guys, there was always two sides to this story. Some of you people were so excited sitting at home doing nothing. Let me be honest. As I said, some of you are gonna hate me today. You're not gonna like me. Some of you were excited sitting at home doing nothing, and there's a lot of people who are telling me, I'm so happy. For me, I wasn't. I felt very caged. I felt like I had to get out there and do something. That's just me. So maybe that's the reason why when the vaccine came in, I was number one on that line saying, here's my arm. Go ahead. Where do you want to stick that needle? Unfortunately, some of us can just sit in the house. So I can't be sitting down saying, okay, I'm going to protect myself by hiding myself from the world. Some of us can't cope. I'm sorry, we just can't cope at home.
We're not saying only sitting at home.
Now let's flip that. He just said he can't cope sitting at home, right? Because it's not good for him, right? So, Patrick, what if the only way to curb this COVID thing was to stay home? Like you just said, the only way is to keep people who haven't vaccinated away from restaurants. What if the only way was to stay home? And
they said there's no vaccine
because the numbers
again
during lockdown, the numbers reduced. They reduced.
Again. During lockdown, the numbers reduced. Have you noticed now?
But in a funny way, there were people were still having these indoor house parties and things were going up.
Yeah,
not in Ireland,
but they're still reduced.
No, the numbers still reduced significantly. Lockdown.
You see, this brings us back to I think there's not the division is not only for anti-vaxxers, it's a division for also people who don't want to work.
But you have to answer. No, I know people like myself, even through the whole lockdown, I never stayed at home. I was still working the whole lockdown. I never
Same here.
Why do you keep saying yourself? What's special about you, Peter?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just giving an example. And there's people out there who were still working during the lockdown.
I was working during the lockdown.
You haven't answered the question. You haven't answered the question he has asked you. He's saying,
if the choice,
what if it was that law is you should stay home? Will you find that? And to them, they've said it's a correct way to reduce the numbers. What would you take that?
Wasn't it to stay home already just a few minutes ago and then telling you where you're going in the street, or like if it's Hitler days?
It was temporary.
They will tell you that where are you going as soon as
it was somewhere. It was temporary, but what if
temporary law? But if that was permanent, you would have problems with that. You would.
Look. Unfortunately, for me is I jump on buses, so that would be my bus, but I wouldn't like it.
Right.
Go back to the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back into the comments because there's loads of people. Sorry, guys. Obviously, this is a very, very controversial subject, and everybody has a lot to say. Sorry. Just gonna read through some of the comments. Edna says, example, if it's a bad one or risky, what happens to our future generation? I think I read that one. Gloria says, believe with a devil face. She says, believe in the vaccine manufacturers. And then she goes, read the inserts. they list the adverse effects. Yes, so do painkillers and all kinds of things. So, Kita K says, like Anne-Marie said, people with the vaccine are still catching and dying from COVID. There is still long-term data that proves there's still no long-term data that proves it's safe. That's absolutely true. Fertility for women, the data isn't coming out until 2023, so yeah.
Can somebody pull out these stats, because you guys are throwing stats saying people from who are vaccinated are dying.
Here's okay, the dying part I don't know. Here's a part that is a fact. I've read like 3 different articles, 3 different places: National Health Statistics, BBC, some health things.
Oh, this guy has time, isn't it?
I know.
It takes up to 15 years to come up with an effective vaccine.
Vaccine to make it
15 years. Okay, you can counter this by saying, okay, actually, COVID's been there for years. This is just a different variant. COVID's been there, but this is the lethal variant.
It wasn't SARS. Wasn't SARS part of it? Also, wasn't SARS?
Correct. So you can counter that to say, look, this is a variant of something that's already been there, which is why maybe they came up with the vaccine a little bit quicker. I can't say 100% if that's it, because I never made the vaccine myself.
But you took it.
Yeah, of course I did. You look at for me, like I said, it's a personal choice. And for me, I looked at the data. I didn't jump straight at just getting the vaccine. I looked at the data, waited for a little bit longer. Does it actually help? Are people actually not dying? Is it improving your mortality rate? Is it, because I wasn't going to take it if I didn't see a change, for me, that's what I thought anyway. So Kita K says, pregnant women are being vaccinated, yet data isn't available yet. October for short term and 2023 for lock. She's really on this pregnancy thing.
It's actually true though.
Anne-Marie says, how are unvaccinated people causing the risks when I have kept myself safe, socially distanced, hygiene 100%. Thank God I've been safe and responsible. Unlike a lot of people who judge the unvaccinated people, you see that's a very good opinion. Edna says, if you are pregnant, I would say not to get it done. They are still studying the vaccine. Kita K. So we got again Anne-Marie saying, look, Kita K, thank you for the major for my one major fear is women's fertility, and it's affecting women in a way that I know a few. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of things flying in there. Anne-Marie says, people who do not work. Some people still work through the pandemic, including myself. You know what I mean? That was for Patrick. Kita K says, people with the vaccine have been dying. Look at the stats. Kita K, the National Health Statistics say that actually people that are unvaccinated have been dying more than the vaccinated.
True.
Yes, people who got vaccinated have been dying. In fact, the numbers haven't dropped. The number of people dying hasn't dropped. I think it's still 50,000 or something like that. The recent numbers that I saw. But in fact, I've got it here. In England,
smart.
In England, as of this month, July, 40,000 people, died. 40,000 people, and it's normally like 10 or 5% who are vaccinated who died in that number, and the rest is unvaccinated. So,
do you have the number before the vaccine came out?
Before the vaccine came out, it was the same. It was still 50 something thousand, right? It was still the same number, but now it's more unvaccinated people
who are dying than people who are vaccinated. Most people who are vaccinated have got a higher chance than pulling through it.
But you know what surprises me? Like, they tell us all this death and stuff. How come they don't tell us the people surviving, as in show us the stats of people recovering? At least give people some hope. You know what I mean?
I told you it's fear. It's all fear. You cannot tell hope to
every
people.
day on my phone, because I have this app that tells RTE. It comes up an app like then you see 1,000 people and 20 people in intensive care. You know what I mean?
Everybody
do you think hope is going to make people go to the thing? It's always fear. Fear is more stronger than hope.
They will never say that. Today there was 1,000 people in the hospital, and 800 have survived and they've gone out of the hospital. No.
So as soon as you start telling people that, there's positive, do you think anybody is going to do?
No, if that's the case, say positive that the vaccine is curing people. At least people show us the people that have been cured by the vaccine, then we'll be like, okay, this thing actually does work.
All you're doing is just for numbers. When they reach a certain number, they'll start throwing hope.
Because the numbers,
are two different things, my friend. A vaccine and a cure, two different things.
Yeah, no, a cure.
And would you tell me this? Is COVID the number one killer of people at the moment?
No.
You know what I mean? No. It's probably not even up there with the rest of the other diseases that's actually already there. You know what I mean? No. It's something that's there, but it's people fear it more than any other. People actually say like,
because it's the most transmissive disease.
It's very easy ever. It's very easy to transmit.
Yeah, it's the most highly contractable disease ever. That's why people fear it. You know. So,
do we have time for the next question?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, this is the mad one, and unfortunately, we can see it here and we can talk about this. This is the conversation we can have for long because there's a lot of people with different opinion and different angles and how people are looking at different things. But before we close it up and finish it up, I know people have more things to talk about, to say about. Throw it into the comments and feel free, whatever you think of it. The last thing that we can say with us talking about this is, what do you think then is the best way we can govern the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers while maintaining equality? How can we control this vaccine while trying to keep the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers equal?
I'll go first. You know what I mean? As in, I would say the government should be more open. Don't just give people things, go do this, and not give them a reason why they should do. Just, you get this, you're safe. No, show them what you are giving them. I think people want to see what's going in their body and stuff. Be open to what you're doing with it. Yeah, transparency. Be transparent with your people. Don't just like, oh no, get this and then you already have a history. There's already a history of crazy medical stuff that's been happening. How you expect people to just blindly go into there? That's why they're using fear. So I think transparency would be the key. The key over there. Be open with your people. Tell them the truth on what's happening.
I think the other thing is COVID is not going to choose who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated.
You know
So why should the government do that? Why should people?
Yeah.
Why should there be a division if COVID is not dividing people? Do you know what I mean? Anyone can still get COVID, vaccinated or not, right? So the law must still remain the same. If you travel and you come back, you must have a test. You know what I mean? If you have to isolate, it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not, you isolate. You know what I mean? Those should be the rules. If we're not going to isolate, then everyone's not going to isolate. These rules need to be across the board. You know, across the board.
Not ending this and ending this. Yeah.
Oh, so you're basically saying that these small things have brought up. Basically, that answers the whole thing. It's because that's what's causing all this drama, where people are protesting and people are unhappy, saying I'm being discriminated. I think it's this thing. You're right. So it's basically these rules of saying, you're not vaccinated, you won't get. Because I'm pretty sure very soon it's going to be, you're not vaccinated, you can get in the train, you can get in the bus.
Because I think as I can add this more bit is, as you said, I think they shouldn't do when they're telling us about the vaccine or anti-vaccine or the virus. They shouldn't paint small little stupid pictures just to control people's brain. I think they should be realistic.
What pictures are you on about? What stupid pictures?
Realistic. Let's talk about real. I'll give you an example. The same things of saying, like you say to that person, to say that, oh, you're working behind the bar, you're not vaccinated, no problem. And then you can't come and drink in the same bar that you work behind because you're not vaccinated. That's like, what is the COVID? COVID is going to say, oh, now you're working, I'm not going to attack you.
Oh, now you're not wearing a uniform, I'm after you.
Yeah, but now
on the other side of the bar, I don't know. I don't go. COVID's not a bartender.
Waiting for you to knock off.
So basically, the government should also. You're trying to say they should admit that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they should be realistic.
I think we need a bit of equality. I guess.
Let's be honest. The government are people like you and me. You know what I mean? They're just a group of people deciding the fate of humanity of their country. You know what I mean?
Based on the studies and knowledge of people that are qualified to study this.
Yes,
that's where they get.
So they can also be wrong at some point, and there's some people actually. Sometimes even I when I'm seeing this, I'm like, this is just stupid. You know what I mean? Some of these things are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you can go in a shop. Yeah. The mask that are wearing. There's so many loopholes where the virus. This is airborne. You know what I mean? People put it under here. There's some spaces in the side. You can still get it. You know what I mean? So the mask that we're using.
You know, it say that when you're wearing a mask, apparently, yeah, it's only somebody should stand next to you for an hour, 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Then it's a risk.
It's stupid. The only thing that a mask can do is for you giving it.
I laughed. It was not polite because I was speaking to somebody who's trained. So I was like, "Are you? What? Come again?" And they say this, that. Oh, okay. But if you don't have the mask within 45 to 40 minutes, it can be passed on. So I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Who told you
this
that?
thing actually waits for time.
Did COVID tell you that?
I like, no, we'll give you 3 hours. Then you can go.
I can't say for reasons, but you're right, guys. Some of these things are laughable, and even though you're not qualified, you're sitting down and say, okay, so if A and B is like this, so that doesn't make sense. So that's why I think a lot of people are questioning this.
Yes,
they're like, I don't understand. But do you know another funny one? Another funny one is this one. If you go to a shopping center, right? There's a restaurant which has got it's in an open space, right? So they say in the shopping center you have to wear a mask. So I am wearing a mask because I'm walking around in the shopping center. I can stand somewhere, but at KFC there's an open space. So any restaurant there's an open space. Guess what? They can remove their mask, but they're right there in the open shopping center. I don't know if you get where I'm going.
Yes, so inside the shopping center.
It's not indoor.
Inside.
It's an indoor restaurant, but it's out. It's in the shopping center. It's open, and they're drinking coffee, and they're saying they cannot wear a mask, but you have to wear a mask.
The other one
is standing next to them.
The other one was that one. They were saying that you can't.
The virus is sitting down with the people. So
okay. I mean, you know, one of the things I think one of the things that needs to improve is this the right to opinion. I think, you know, the reason that there's an uprising in people who are against this whole coronavirus thing is because if you put up a post on Facebook or whatever it is against whatever the directive of COVID is, Facebook comes back and fact checks you. It says, listen, you're saying the wrong thing, we're taking this down. But I can tell you today that if you go on Facebook, 85% of the stuff that's on there is garbage. You know, it's some of it is fake news.
Even Twitter is doing the same thing.
Even Twitter, hoaxes of people's death. But, you know, they are so hell-bent on stopping people from arguing about the narrative. You know, that's what makes people suspicious. Like, why are you stopping me from expressing myself?
What I feel.
That tweet Nicki Minaj posted, did you guys see it as well?
Yeah, president's already talking. Had this another one from Trinidad president, even a speech, he said, no, we do not believe what Nicki Minaj say. Do you
remember the girl from Black Panther? What's her name? The girl from Black Panther who was playing the sister? She also she did the same thing months ago where she posted about it. But she was just trying to say everybody has to have a choice, like Wantali says. People went after her. They started writing to Disney, make sure we don't see her in Black Panther 2. She demanded a public apology, and she then came out, but she's like, I was trying to say that people have a choice to either go or not. But for me, from my angle, I say that I'm not going to go, but you have a choice to go. So they told her that, look, you are supporting the wrong way. Some actors and actresses went after her. So it was very bad. Like, I don't know if he's going to be in the new Black Panther, but it was a point where those debates on YouTube, they should remove her. They should remove her from Black Panther. She's disrespectful. Your man just passed away. Like, they connected it in so many ways and made her look bad. And then she had to, I don't know if you apologize for the sake, but people are apologizing for the sake of apologizing. So there's no free speech anymore. But I think that's where Wantari was trying to get also, because you've seen those statements anyway.
No, I think, you know, with the question that you said, how can we improve this? Allow people to speak, you know, allow people to debate, you know, allow people to get information for this, because at the end of the day, it is your body, it's your own body. You're the one who's going to decide what's good for you and what is
my
not,
body, my choice. Yeah.
So you know, it's a madness. I'm just going to go through the comments real quick. I've got Anne-Marie saying, look, I can't wait to see what the winter will bring and the reason they give for increase or new variants, which they will keep coming. Money control and fear. Welcome to the new world order. Wow. She says everyone should be 100% responsible. That's it. That's what it comes down to keep yourself safe and your families. I am not an anti-vaxxer, in all honesty, too afraid of the fact that we don't know what is in the injections. She continues to say, I also have friends, nurses, who have not got vaccines because of the fact that it's trials. Okay, I don't know what is right or wrong anymore. The world is gone mad. Okay.
Hey, it's a guy. But that's what I was saying about nurses. You seen the ones they fired them, and those are nurses. They didn't want to get vaccinated, and they said no, then you have no job, which I don't find. Like, I know out there, there's doctors that are administering that injection, but themselves, if you have to dig in, they haven't had the vaccine. I'm not saying it's bad,
it's their choice,
but
man.
it's just the best because it's their choice. You know what I mean? I'm not the one who say that no, the vaccine is bad. No, I'll never say that. I just ready. I'll just be saying I'll wait a while and see where is it gonna go. But I just feel it shouldn't be a control kind of thing. It should be fair. Everybody should be equal as we've always been, because the division is gonna just destroy the whole world. So, guys, this will come to our conclusions, because we could sit here and talk about COVID. We could write books and open books and pages, Google and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? As you've heard it, that's what you've heard it. It is what it is. This is how we can solve the problem of making it equal to everyone. We know the reasons why this is happening. You people out there as well have your own reasons why you think this division, and you also have your own idea that how can we maintain equality and how should it be governed. And if you feel you've got those words to throw in, don't feel shy, don't be afraid. Just drop onto the comment box and scribble your book. You know what I mean? If you've got facts, write them down. People read them. And make sure you don't come with conspiracies, because we're not going to accept them until they know you're made. So this comes to an end of another fantastic episode of 5 Rounds. You were with me, Freddie, Wantali, and Patrick, and of course himself, with the what it do, what it does master.
So when are they going to see us again, Ovita? When are they going to see 5 Rounds again?
I'm about to go on that way. Now, again, you're going to see us tomorrow on Instagram. We always have a show. That's a fantastic show. That's where you can all come in, jump in, and give us what you think. This is the fun part of the podcast now. This is the time where we're
Whoa, are you saying this is the boring part? What the hell?
No, I haven't gone to this. Is like the bubbly. This is the bubbly part of the podcast. This is where
these people will come with bullets. I know they'll come with bullets.
That's where you come. That's where you can come with your bullets, your conspiracies, if you want to come with them, whatever, depending on whatever we're talking about. This is where you can come with your glass of wine.
You can also come live. You can also come live.
And if you want to come on live, whatever we're talking about, feel free, request a video in, and we'll throw you onto the live and talk what you gotta say. It's usually we're starting at 8 o'clock and we go on for an hour, 8 to 9, and then at 9 o'clock we take a 10-minute break. Yourself just to go have a sip and come back regenerated. And we start again at 9 and finish off at 10. And please make sure you come out, because tomorrow I've got some special stuff, some juicy stuff. This one is mwah. But anyway, guys, make sure you're in. What's the name of the show, guys?
5
Rounds.
Man.